Hello and welcome everyone to Clicks and Classics Night Call. We're back in the game, and as you may have noticed last time, a little bit of a shorter episode because my recording software crashed, and since this game is on autosave, I immediately stopped and you didn't miss anything. It was just that the episode was a little cut short and we jumped in a couple seconds before the last episode ended. Sorry for that inconvenience, but sometimes technical issues like that are I'm unable to avoid them. But we are back in our apartment and we have to look at the clues that we have gathered so far. At the foot of your front door, just behind a drain pipe, you notice an envelope. It's thick and heavy. You can just make out your name written in thick black marker on the front. Your real name. You take a deep breath and go inside. In the envelope you find more information, just as per se promised. So that far we got last time, and then it crashed once we got to the to our pin board there. You take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. Steps in the hallway. They stop in front of your door, then move away. You sigh and get to work. Okay. So we had the picture of the crime scene. These are long reports, so we can only read one of those. And now we have spent bullet case. So these are our suspects. Let's sort it all out. Killer 1 fought with the victim. Could be linked to the mafia. I still don't really know what to make of most of the things. Honestly, it's still a little confusing. Based on the hints that we got, I'm not quite sure what to make of all of that. I don't really have a major suspect as of now. Maybe Claudia Campos with her connection to the junta, but that's the biggest connection for me right now. But maybe it's also multiple people. I'm not sure if that is an option, that we have, that the judge is not just one person, but it's maybe more of a movement. Could see that being the case as well. Well, either way, I don't think we can do much here right now, so let's end the night. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lay down. Events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. You open one eye. Your attention turns to shouting upstairs, a door slamming. Typical. You get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. And night 3 begins. We're still pretty good on gas, and we have something to investigate close here, so let's drive there first. Early in the night. The passenger who's entered your cab slams the door and stares at you intently. Good evening. Ludivine. Are you kidding? That's how you want this to start? Do we know each other? She gives us a sour laugh. Don't play innocent with me. If I were to say to you, her voice is slightly raspy with an oddly metallic sound. October 27th. That's the date, the night of the attack, the night you... Could this woman be the judge? 10:46 p.m. No, the attack took place later. Does that ring a bell? You nod your head. Let's answer. Yes, it does, miss. Don't you miss me? Not another word. She waggles an accusing finger at you. Last October 27th, you were in this very cab, driving a fare, and you committed a crime. That's right, sir. A crime. Let her go on. I spent the whole day working like an idiot for that rotten newspaper. Do you have any idea what I do for a living? Teacher? Did you say teacher? The idea seems practically shocking to her. Her voice takes on a sour note. I'm a sub-editor, Mr. Taxi Driver. I correct mistakes that a bunch of moron journalists make. There isn't a single one, not one, who knows how to write a proper sentence. I'd had it, really had it, and on the night of October 27th, you cut me off. I almost died that night. She grinds her teeth. You shudder. I crashed my car, my boyfriend's car, that is. The same guy who made yet another comment about women drivers. The neighbors called the police that night. I made such a scene. To think the guy dares call himself a feminist. Pause for dramatic effect as a disturbing smile spreads over her face. I feel like it may not be about us, really. It may be more about her relationship. Let's let her go on. Her voice is suddenly noticeably quieter, almost fragile. Next day, no more boyfriend. No more Connor. Messed up a job interview with a major news outlet. A paper where people know how to write, where they follow basic rules of French grammar. Imagine for just a minute I could have stopped correcting copy for a bunch of morons. She takes a deep breath. Well, all because of you, because of your cab, everything changed that night of October 27th. A sad, faraway look comes over her. My life has never been the same since. But her voice is bursting with fury and hatred. Forced to go live with my mother while I went apartment hunting in this rotten city where tiny studios cost an arm and a leg. So I started looking for you. Back of your neck breaks into a sweat. You can feel cold, clammy droplets about to drip down your spine. I started asking around. I bribed one of your colleagues into giving me your number. Droplet of sweat starts sliding down your back. And I found your address. The first one, that is. You shiver as the drop reaches your boxers. That's your business. What matters is I did eventually get your other address, the real one. Droplet has reached your tailbone. You started shaking. First, I admit I was planning on going to your place. She shrugs her shoulders. Her voice has softened a little. Just maybe to spit on your face. Something like that. And then I thought to myself, no, Ludwig, maybe the guy deserves a chance. You never know. You're going to apologize. Go on. Give it your all. Take your time. Take a deep breath. She breathes in deeply, then exhales. Like that. I mean, I'm sorry about what happened. I'm surely sorry for what happened. That, I mean, it may have happened because of the whole judge business. So I'm not sure like how responsible we are really for cutting her off, in the sense that did we just do it because we, I don't know, did it as a taxi driver before the whole judge business completely started, or was that kind of leading up to that? I don't know. So I'm truly sorry for what happened. I don't remember what happened that evening. But I was irresponsible. So for everything that happened to your car, your eggs, the job, I'm sorry. Shit. She's aside, spelling her anger all at once. I don't know what to say. You were, then I. It was. Her voice had slowed down. It was. Smile lights up her face. It was exactly what I needed to hear. I've been thinking about it for a month, going over and over it, every second of the accident. Telling myself it could have been different, less complicated. More, I mean, less, well, you know. I do. Good. Good. Good, good. Thanks. All her anger has evaporated. No more looks that could kill simmering rage or grinding teeth. My boyfriend was a jerk anyway, and then this job, maybe it wasn't so great. She gives you a little smile. Tend to get all worked up about things. I noticed. Sometimes I take things a little too far. That too. In Paris, I guess we are quick to forget about being nice to each other, about being polite, and for a taxi driver, you're a real sweetheart. Here's a short laugh. This is what I suggest. I'm going to exit the cab. I'm going to go for a little walk in the cold to get my mind off things. I have to learn to, voice falters, manage my anger. It's eating me up. Shakes her head, and then, without another look your way. Goodbye. Door opens and then closes. You're alone in the taxi, your head spinning slightly as if you'd had a drink. Just one, but something really strong. You briefly try to remember that night. Nothing. Nothing but a vague impression of something behind you, the killer silhouette, a fleeting presence. You shake your head. It's nothing more than before. If only you had turned around, everything would have been easier. If you had seen the face of... All at once you start the cab. Okay. Yeah, I think in those situations like we were in, like, it is not the right move to try to justify your actions or explain it, even though you may have a good explanation. Sometimes just saying sorry is the best thing you can do. From outside, the Montparnasse gun store looks like any other shop. A plain, discreet front windows, sliding doors. But inside they sell handguns, machine guns, knives, and even grenades. It's your first time here, but you've already had its owner in your cab. The store opens really early so that patrons can come train at the shooting range. As you walk up to the counter, you hear the distant noise of gunshots under your feet. It's an unsettling experience. Can I help you? It's the owner speaking, an older woman with a hunchback. She's been selling weapons since the 70s. She's cheeky in a typical Parisian way, and her wrinkles carve craters across her face. Ah, it's you. It's been ages. Come closer. You make small talk and eventually decide to go for it. I have a question for you about a weapon. You slide the photo of the shell across the counter. She looks slowly up at you. Where's the photo from? She's been doing this for years, and you doubt you can pull one over her. The cops. Yeah, just how did you end up with police photos? I'm a private investigator. On top of driving a cab. She cocks her head towards the outside. Although with the disruptive economy we're living in, it's not surprising you have to work 2 jobs. Give that to me. I didn't want to reveal that we are actually working for the cop. I don't want to cause any issues. She practically rips the photo out of your hands. You give her as many details as you can. She thinks for a while. The shop door was open and a woman, probably a cop from her appearance, comes in, greets the owner, and disappears downstairs. When she opens the door, it creaks and the smell of gunpowder spreads through the shop. That's funny. This doesn't fit with what you told me. The shell is in perfect shape, and you told me the bullets are also completely clean. But it's old ammo, you can tell. There are no scratches, but there are a few oxidization stains, and her voice grows dark all of a sudden, like something had escaped from her. My opinion is from an old weapon, perfectly maintained by someone who knew what they were doing. In light of what you told me, I'd say it belonged to a cop or a soldier. It could be a family weapon. It was a police service weapon in the 70s. Either a cop held on it or the guy you're looking for inherited it. That judge there, he's a pro. You raise your head to meet her gaze. Her old bones make that slight shift again, the one that you could be construed as a smile. Or she, actually. You know, lots of women shoot, and I give classes if you have any lady friends who are interested. Good to know. Back in your cab. You glance back at the shop. You don't know how this woman knew that. Anyway, you start your taxi. You have what you need to move forward with your investigation. And a coupon for a class on shooting automatic weapons. Got a coupon! But that is actually interesting information because we have one former cop there for sure in our suspect list. And I'm not sure if that would then exclude the Argentinian lady, or it makes it at least less likely because it seems to be a French service weapon, and I'm not sure if they would have had the same in Argentina, so that might weaken the case for the Argentinian lady. You park your taxi across from the stadium just a few meters from a 2-story building. It's an old brick place that clashes with a huge concrete behemoth that is Charlotte Stadium. You get out of the car and walk to the front door. You knock. Wait a few minutes. Lights come on and the door finally opens. Marco appears. Marco's a former taxi driver, a strange guy, a bit spacey and different. He's been working at the stadium for a few years now. Well, shit. You're still alive? That's Marco. I like him. I mean, wow. So nice to see you. Even though he stole your wife. Oops. Come on in. Come in. Want something to drink? Alright, you stop drinking. Cup of coffee? Yeah, why not? You follow him into his caretaker's home. It's pretty nice despite the mess and filth. He serves you a cup of coffee and sits down at the table. You follow suit. The only noise in the room is the TV behind Marco. Before you came by, he was playing a soccer video game. The fans are singing and clapping their hands. So, what have you been up to? I have a question for you. He shakes his head. No, not yet. Man, seriously, no. The last time I helped you out, I lost my job. So the answer is no. You have no choice and you know it. You know me this much. Marco drops his head between his shoulders. He starts to beg. I'm telling you, man, I love this job. It's so easy. I get to take care of a stadium that's empty 70% of the time. He sits up roughly in his chair. Behind him, on the screen, the stadium is going wild. I need information on Ronan Besson. He straightens up. Ronan? The coach that got killed by the judge? That very one. He was a great guy. Everyone's torn up about it. But There were rumors. Some parents heard he was still too hands-on with the kids a while back, if you get my drift. But no one ever looked into it. Was it true? I don't know nothing. He sighs. A few months ago, Ronan cornered a kid, like by the showers. You know what I mean? The kid stabbed him in the thigh with a pair of scissors and ran away. The kid's parents weren't sure whether they'd file a complaint. The club director brought Ronan in and bam, 2 days later, he was murdered. Who else knows this? About the kid? No one, I think. Well, maybe some other parents, don't know. Thank you, Marco. One last thing. Ooh. I don't know if I would just want to give him the suspect names. Give him the victim names. Here's the victims. He doesn't react until you mention Charles Bougrain. Bougrain? Oh yeah, him. I know him. I mean, everyone knows him. Right-wing extremist son of a bitch. Hold on. What are you doing these days? I can't say. Marcus sits up. Damn it. I'm going to get fired. Easy. Boy speeds up. Don't tell anyone where you got this information, okay? Let's do the Kermit. Can really be an ass sometimes. A vuvuzela noise comes from the TV. Okay, I've got to run. He walks you to the door, mumbling with clenched teeth. Every time I run into you, you jinx me. Every single time. Walk outside and over to your taxi. Door, key, motor purring. You go back to work. Okay, interesting. So one of the victims allegedly may have touched some kids, or at least that is all we know. And another one is a right-wing populist. So there's that. Okay, let's take our first customer. I think it's about time, right? We need to work someday, and we need some money. Not long tour though. The passenger climbs into the cab and slams the door shut behind him. Good evening. Plain Saint-Denis, please. It's up shortly, visibly sizing up. You know what that is? Yep. Avenue des Magasins Généraux? So, you know the street? Yeah, sure. Looks at you intently. You know all the streets of Paris? Paris? Jeez. This question drips with disbelief. You know his kind well, the sort who'd rather refer to you as the Arab and not Baden Island. Yeah. He seems hesitant. Well, then let's go. Start the cab. The client stares out of the window as if hypnotized. You watch him in the rear view mirror. His face is familiar to you, his accent too, but you'd never be able to place it. Typical of some rural region, central France made, perhaps. You take another look. That's it, you've got it. He was a contestant on one of those reality shows where farmers meet women. Great. You'd see him on the show a few weeks before. You watched it from your hospital bed with a distracted eye. But something about it had bothered you. The show was a masquerade. Life in the country is seen from a very Parisian and cynical perspective. Full of scorn and contempt. Okay then, you've figured out who I am? His remark and his accent bringing you back to the present. Sorry? You recognize me, right? So you can make fun of me now. Fun of you? He shrugs. Yeah, like all those people do out there on their Tweety thing. Tweety? Takes you a second to realize he's talking about social media. I don't know what you mean by that. You mean, you don't know who I am? You hesitate before answering. No. Really? He jabbers something you don't understand, then turns his attention back to the window. Sorry. He shakes his head, obviously moved. The shell is starting to crack. It's living hell. Imagine what I'm going through. It's a nightmare. 3 months ago, I was a contestant on that stupid show, Fields of Love. Well, I said yes because my wife's been dead for 25 years. I've been all alone ever since, just me and cows and others. Oh boy, where's this guy? He stops and shrugs. The show was aired like a month ago. At first, things were fun. Friends called, we had a good laugh and all. Then I find out the internet is laughing at me too. There are those things, I can't remember what they're called. Moms, mams, and mims? You know, those pictures that move all by themselves on the damn internet. I have no idea what he's talking about. Just say nothing. So I made myself a Tweety account to go and see what they're saying about me. Calling me a virgin and a Nazi. They screwed my cows too. Looks away as if someone else had spoken the words. I practically die laughing. A farmer who doesn't want to finish the sentence. So yesterday I said I had it. I called my cousin to keep an eye on my farm and left for Paris. I'm on my way to see those TV jokers right now. 6 months ago they said if there was any problem whatsoever they'd take care of it. Well, there is a problem. His anger has subsided somewhat. His face has returned to its normal color. What's your plan? Oh yes, I have a plan. I'm going to show up to their office and raise Cain until they listen to me. You're really going to do that? Yeah, that's the plan. Gives an energetic nod of the head. And believe me, they're going to listen. Maybe just a plain old farmer, but nobody's gonna disrespect me. He squares his shoulders as if to fend off the attackers. Get it. His eyes half closed, he practically growls the words. There is a palpable air of sadness about him. At first, I told him I didn't want to be on their stupid old show. It wasn't for me. But they insisted. They showed me pictures of the women. He lowers his eyes. And then, well, I said yes. Should never have said yes. He pulled up the address he gave you. The studio gates are still closed. Park the cab and cut the engine. Is it closed? Not. It opens up. It doesn't open until 6. Point to a sign posted near the gates, he sighs. But there'll be hardly anyone here before 9, 10 o'clock. I don't care. I'll wait. He rummages through his pockets and pulls out a wallet. We're gonna ask him. I want them to apologize on TV during the show in front of everyone. To talk about all the things they changed, all the bits of sentences they cut up and put back together. Fixes his gaze on you, his eyes narrow. You know, I'm not racist. Voice is slow and raspy. Don't believe the show. I didn't mean what I said. And I didn't really say that stuff either. What do you say did you say? He stops short. Nothing. You voice your gaze, then all at once says a lot of nonsense. Fixes his gaze on you, visibly moved. I'm very good at this. I've been... Chokes up, gesturing with a hand as if to make it all disappear. When he starts up again, he's on the verge of tears. Anyhow, I'll just wait here until it opens. Pasha pays the fare and exits the cab. You watch him for a minute as he starts his vigil in front of the gates. You notice a newspaper on the back seat. Your last passenger must have left it, or the one before. You grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. Then you start the cap. It's back in the group. Okay. Well, you gave a good tip. There's this guy again. Can I drive him again? Oh, I can read the newspaper this time. Pull the newspaper out of your glove compartment and start leafing through it. Eventually something grabs your eye. It's a rather positive critique of a bar called Solile? Solile? You make note of the information with interest. In your line of work, that kind of thing can always come in handy. You turn the page and stop. You've read about a third of the newspaper. Keep reading. You stop reading and go back a few pages. You thought you saw something. It's a short, rather messy article stuck between two ads informing you that the police have taken the president's campaign manager in for questioning. He is being blamed for discrepancies in the campaign's accounts. You only have a third left to read. Read the whole thing. As soon as you get to the page, you stop. Your instinct tells you to look at just a few lines, a few anecdotes. A man disguised as Santa Claus had been taken off the roof of a building by firemen. He was highly inebriated and stated he did not know how he had gotten there. Shut the paper and oh boy, Santa. Be careful. Remember it's there, otherwise it will spend the rest of its stay in the glove compartment. Well, Santa, that was probably a close call. Oh, we have to drive all the way around there? I mean, I guess we can do that. That's a long drive. Oh, the world is shaking. Kada Bagui. Or Burgui? Oh, this is... Oh, look at... Ooh, look at the fair. Yes. It may all be worth it. But before we take this ride, we take a short break. Thank you all for watching today's episode of Night Call. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe consider... giving the video a like if you enjoyed it. That would be very nice. Also consider subscribing to the channel. Maybe share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. And that all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. I will be back with more Night Call tomorrow. Until then, have a great time.